Hi, welcome to the training video for best practices for presentation and interview preparation. This training video will help you to accomplish the following objectives: to learn best practices for successfully preparing for presentation and interviews. You will also be provided with other tips that will help you understand how to be poised, professional, and confident in these settings. First, you're going to see a video clip of an unprepared presentation example.
The best way to do an elevator speech, the number one is to introduce yourself, and then step 2 would be to identify your goal. 3, explain what you do, and lastly, engage with the question.
After watching that clip, I'm sure you noticed some elements of her presentation that can be improved upon. She did not seem to know the information and relied heavily on looking at her note cards and the board. She also used many filler words and was blocking the media. So how can you prepare to help prevent these issues? First, practice is key. You should be practicing until you are able to have a mental idea of the points you want to say for each slide and can comfortably give the presentation without visual aid other than glancing at the slides from time to time. It is also very helpful to film yourself practicing, which helps to highlight certain aspects like body language or position and volume or tone of voice that can be improved upon. In terms of content, you want to include significant points on your slide so that it is informative, but make sure not to make the slides too busy. Your slides should complement your speech rather than be a crutch used to help remember information. Also, if you spend time to understand your content well before presenting, you will not have to do as much memorizing. Think of it like how professors can give lectures about topics without having to read off of something. It's because they are familiar and knowledgeable about the content. Also, be sure to practice executing the media interactions in the presentation to ensure it runs smoothly. Finally, make sure you are dressed professionally or polished depending on the dress requirements. Next, you will see an example of how a presentation can go when you properly prepare for it.
So today I'll be going over how to give an effective elevator speech. First, you want to introduce yourself. Next, you would want to identify your goal. And then you would want to explain what you do, what your interests are, and what your strengths are. And then you would want to engage with a question. This entire speech should last no more than a minute.
If you devote quality time to practicing and following the other preparation tips, you will feel and seem more confident to others. You will be able to focus less energy on remembering what to say and more energy on delivering an enthusiastic presentation. This overall will convey professionalism to your audience. Next, we will move on to the topic of interviews, where you will watch a clip where someone was unprepared for their interview.
Hello.
Hi, Kelsey. I'm Haley. I'll be doing your interview today.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. All right. Do you have your resume with you today?
I seem to have forgotten it. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just go ahead and move on from that. Do you have anything you'd like to tell me about yourself?
I don't have any hobbies. Oh, excuse me. I have to take this.
As you can see from that clip, the candidates seem very unprepared and unprofessional. First, we'll talk about some resources that JMU has available to help with the interview preparation. You can utilize the Career and Academic Planning resources, which include but are not limited to Interview Stream, an online video interviewing practice tool, Interview 101 workshops, and Resume Help workshops. Definitely visit the website below to discover more details about these and even more resources they offer. Properly preparing a resume is a significant part of portraying professionalism in an interview. Even though you may have already submitted a resume to get this interview, it doesn't hurt to have a trusted professional look at your resume again and provide you with their insight and feedback on how to improve it. Also, be sure to look over it for any mistakes or updates that need to be made. You should definitely bring multiple copies of your resume to the interview because oftentimes you will be interviewed by more than one person and they may ask for your resume. Be sure to print it on resume-specific cardstock paper. Here are some other preparation best practices that can help show the interviewer that you are prepared, organized, and professional. You should research the company and position prior to the interview. It is common for interviewers to ask what you know about these. Prepare questions in advance that you have about the company and position, as the interviewer will definitely ask you if you have any questions and you want to show that you are interested and engaged. Bring a portfolio which should include your resume copies, prepared questions, and space for you to write important notes down during the interview. If you have a solid sheet of references, it doesn't hurt to bring that along as well. Equally as important, you always want to be professionally dressed. It is much better to be overdressed than underdressed in this situation. Next, you will watch a clip of an interview where the candidate prepared in advance.
Hi, Michaela. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Haley. I'll be doing your interview today.
Okay.
You can go ahead and take a seat.
Okay.
All right. Now, do you actually have a copy of your resume with you today?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, this looks very interesting and good. Do you have any questions for me now?
Yes, I have some written down. So, an important question that I have is, what is a typical work day for this company?
As you can see, that candidate seemed to be much more prepared and professional. Here are some characteristics of a strong candidate that can help to convey confidence that you can strive to carry out. Have a firm handshake when you are greeting the interviewer and make eye contact with them then, and maintain it when appropriate throughout the interview. Meaning you should try not to look down or around the room when answering a question. Definitely look at them when they are speaking. Avoid using filler words such as like or. Taking a second to compose your thoughts before giving a response can help with this. Also, if you have an ability to make small talk and have a personable demeanor, that can help to form a memorable connection with the interviewer. Much of how you perform in presentations and interviews comes down to your preparation. Some of these preparation tips may not seem like the most significant aspect, but each additional action you take to prepare will only increase your confidence in these situations. And your audience, whether it be a group of people or an interviewer, will definitely notice if you are lacking confidence. A JMU College of Business Education enables you to have the knowledge needed about your content or desired position, and these guidelines will help to complement that by portraying you as a strong professional as well. This will only help in achieving the results that you desire. This concludes the training video on best practices for interview and presentation preparation. Thank you for watching.